Before you buy a home in Clearwater Beach, there are some things that you absolutely must know, because down here, one wrong assumption can cost you thousands per year or completely change your day-to-day lifestyle. I help people relocate to Clearwater Beach every single week, and the biggest mistakes that I see are always made before people even step foot inside of a home. It's not about the price that surprises people, it's the hidden factors that they never even thought to ask about. And once you're under contract and pass the inspection, it's normally too late. So let's get straight into the list so that you don't get blindsided. Number 1, the neighborhood you choose will completely define your lifestyle. I tell my clients this all the time. You do not pick a house first. You pick a lifestyle and a location first and then the house after. This is because Clearwater Beach has 4 completely different experiences depending on where you buy. Island Estates feels like a private boating community with docks and deep water canals, private residential homes, and condos close enough to walk or bike to the beach. North Beach is walkable, energy-filled, beach town living with lots of coffee, restaurants, surf shops, and sand all within steps of your home. And lastly, Sand Key is quiet, high-rise luxury area with great views, beach access, and a calm space away from the crowds. This all sounds great, but because you're a bit further from Pier 60 and the main beach spots, you'll likely be driving for almost everything that you need. Pick which one suits you first and then choose your house. Number 2, flood zones and elevation. This one's a real silent killer as it can quietly double your cost of ownership without you even realizing it before you move in. I've seen buyers fall in love with a gorgeous waterfront home only to find out that their flood insurance premium is $22,000 a year. Meanwhile, the home next door right across the street from them is paying $3,500 a year because it sits just a few feet higher. 2 homes on the same street can have completely different risk profiles based purely on elevation. This is not something that you'll find on Zillow. You'll only find this out either from your realtor or once you're under contract and your insurance gets quoted to you. Because I've lived my entire life on this island, I know the spots that have a higher insurance premium and which ones can get by without it. Make sure that you know what your elevation certificate says before you get yourself in a bad situation. Number 3, HOAs and special assessments. These are where buyers get blindsided the hardest. Most people look at the monthly HOA dues, but they never ask about what's coming next. I've seen buyers get hit with $20,000, $30,000, even $50,000 assessments 6 months after closing for concrete restoration, insurance shortfalls, or state-required building safety upgrades right after closing. And none of this shows up in the listing. This is why I always request the last at least 12 to 24 months of board meeting minutes to see what the HOA is talking about and if there's anything upcoming, as well as the latest integrity reserve study to make sure that the building passes before my clients proceed with any offers. Always remember, the prettiest building is sometimes the one with the biggest financial storm brewing behind the scenes. Number 4, you're not just buying for now, you're buying for the exit too. I personally work with a lot of investors that are very savvy when it comes to buying down here. However, I still see people that shop emotionally from time to time and not care about the price, the repair costs, the view, or the location, or even any combination of those things because they love the house. The smartest buyers are the ones thinking about the next buyer before they even write the offer. For example, take a building with strict rental bans, long minimum lease terms, or no modern upgrades. The overall buyer demand for that property would be much lower than the one that is updated without any restrictions. The properties that attract the widest pool of future buyers always hold their value stronger, even during slower markets. You're not just buying for day one, you're buying for the exit strategy 5, 10, maybe 30 years from now. Number 5, waterfront does not always mean you can actually use the water. A lot of buyers think any home on the water automatically means boating freedom, and that's just not the case here. Some condos have long wait lists before you can rent a lift or are fully owned by other unit owners, as well as some boat slips aren't big enough for a larger size boat to fit. Also, some properties can have very aged seawalls, which can cost you, the homeowner, over $50,000, sometimes $75,000, depending on how big the seawall is, to replace. Just remember to make sure that you've asked all of these questions if you plan to boat here so you aren't prevented from doing so. Number 6, old homes versus new builds. Most of Clearwater Beach was built in the 1960s and 70s, meaning there are many older homes sitting right next to multi-million-dollar new builds, and both can make sense depending on your priorities. Older homes have charm and character, but many sit too low, have older roofs, or lack impact-rated windows, which can cost you a lot in both repair costs and insurance premiums. New construction must be elevated to FEMA standards and are energy efficient and storm ready. So it costs more upfront, but often saves you money in the long term. The real question isn't just which is prettier, it's which one fits your current financial goals, your comfort, and your risk tolerance over the long term. Number 7, short-term rental rules here are strict and will change from block to block. Clearwater Beach is not an Airbnb free-for-all, as many think it is. One zone fully allows it, and the next one bans it with $500 per day in fines. And if the city allows it, your HOA can still forbid it entirely. I've seen investors close on properties assuming rental income was guaranteed, only to learn it was legally impossible and they're going to get fines every single day. If short-term rental income is part of your plan, you need to have a clear confirmation from both zoning and HOA before making the move. Number 8, and this is a big one, the FEMA 50% rule can force you to rebuild, not just renovate. Here's something that almost no out-of-state buyers know. If the home is in a flood zone and you try to renovate for more than 50% of its assessed value, FEMA will require you to bring the home up to current flood elevation standards. That could mean raising the foundation of your home or even being forced to tear it down in most cases and rebuild. This rule applies to any major renovation or storm damage, not just hurricanes, and it's enforced heavily on Clearwater Beach. If you're buying an older home thinking, oh, I'll just remodel it over and over and over again, this rule can completely change that plan entirely. Number 9, Florida has no state income tax, but Clearwater Beach has lifestyle taxes. Yes, not paying Florida income tax is amazing, but waterfront living comes with its own set of consistent monthly costs that people never seem to factor in correctly. HOA reserves, insurance, flood coverage, electric bills during summer, maintenance, all of that can easily add up to over $800 to even $2,000 more per month depending on where you buy. I've seen people qualify just based on mortgage alone and then get financially squeezed once the real island costs show up. If you aren't buying cash, give yourself some extra leeway on the payments as they could be higher than you expect after all is said and done. And last but not least, number 10. A true local specialist will literally save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are agents who visit Clearwater Beach and might do a deal a year here. And then there are agents who live and breathe this market. And the difference here is enormous. Down here, the most expensive mistakes happen in the fine print that you can't Google, you can't find on Zillow, and you can't find really anywhere online without being here and living here and knowing that knowledge. Flood elevation, city ordinances, HOA reserve health, even micro neighborhood traffic during certain months can all affect your home's value. I've seen people overpay or regret a decision not because of the house, but because they didn't understand what was happening surrounding it. This is a market where knowledge is literally financial protection, so make sure that you have it on your side of the negotiations so you do not get burned. So, Clearwater Beach is paradise if you buy with clarity instead of just emotion. If this video helped you at all in your real estate journey, hit the subscribe button below. I post weekly insider and strategy videos on Clearwater Beach real estate, so by subscribing, you can make sure that you're always informed. And lastly, and most importantly, if you're serious about buying or selling down here in the near future, you can reach out to me and my team directly at the number that's on the screen right now. Or if you just like to know a little bit more about the lifestyle here, whether that be buying, selling, or relocating, you can use the first link below to get instant access for free to all 4 of my Clearwater Beach guides on whatever it is that you're looking for. And until next time, I'll see you on the beach.